welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about indoor cats and outdoor cats. And I've mentioned before in previous videos how important it is to keep your cat indoors for their health and their safety. Outdoor cats do have a shortened lifespan. It is dangerous and it is really recommended by vets and adoption agencies to keep your cats indoors. I've adopted cats and I've also volunteered with adoption agencies, and when someone adopts a cat, they usually do have to sign an agreement that this cat will be only kept indoors and not allowed outdoors. But there are problems that come with that because indoor cats can be very bored and they need that mental stimulation, that enrichment. They need to find things that are exciting. They need to live out their natural instincts like hunting and playing and exploring and discovering, climbing, jumping, things that they do outside. You need to be able to provide that for them inside for their mental health and their physical health and their mental well-being, just to have a happy and healthy cat. There are options like taking your cat outside on a leash, which I do, but I have also found problems with this, and I know that other people have as well. My cat Zorro really dislikes the leash, and teaching your cat to be used to their leash indoors is what you need to do before you can't just take your cat outdoors on the leash. I've made a video about this previously, about getting your cat used to their harness and just getting them ready for outdoors. But there is also another problem. Cats, especially my cat Zorro, when you put on the leash, they kind of bulk themselves up and then they can really shrink. It's almost like they turn into liquid and they can just slip out of their leash. So it can be really dangerous. And of course, cats aren't like dogs. You don't just take them on a walk. They kind of stay in one spot and it's just not the same. There are some things you can do, like providing your cat with a catio, which is basically a cat patio, so your cat can get the outdoor smells, fresh air, they can watch birds or people walk by. But in this video, I want to just talk a bit about what I've been doing to let my cat Zorro be more comfortable on the leash. And if anything does happen, if Zorro does escape and gets out of the leash, I know that I can safely get him back. He's not going to bolt, or if he does bolt, that I'll be able to call him back. So the first thing is you can train your cat to have really good recall. This means that when you call their name, they will come to you right away, or when you shake treats, I have treats in a glass jar or a tin jar, so they make a lot of noise, and when I shake these, my cats come running even if they're outside. Zorro! Luckily, I have a backyard that is fenced in and it's fairly large. There's lots of plants and lots of things for the cats to explore. And I also sometimes let them in my garage, which they can't escape if all the doors are closed. So I let them explore in there just for something new and something different. And I've also had the problem of when I open my doors, if I have company come over or someone's at the front door, my cats have bolted and there's nothing I can really do when they do this. And if they don't have really good recall, if they don't know to come when I call their name or when I shake this jar and they ignore me, then I might not be able to get them back. When cats first bolt or escape or get out an open window or unexpectedly get outside from a guest leaving the door open or something like that, cats usually tend to become scared right away. So they usually will bolt and hide, and even though maybe they've been outside before or they've been on a leash before, they all of a sudden find themselves in a really scary situation. And if they have really good recall, if they're within hearing distance, which they usually are, cats don't go too far away right away, you can teach them to come to you. So this is a skill that I think anyone who has a cat, even if they're really good on the leash, this is a skill that you should teach your cat. And you start first by teaching your cat indoors. So how I did this was every time I said my cat's name, Zorro, I would give him a treat. At first, I just did this when he was by me and I walked up to him and I said Zorro, and he looked at me or gave me attention or some recognition where I knew I had his attention. if that was an ear twitch or he looked in my direction, I would give him a treat. And then I started to distance myself. So I was in the same room. If he was on the opposite side of the room, I'd say Zorro and give the jar a little shake so we'd hear his name, and he'd hear the sound of the treat shaking in the jar, and he would run over to me, and then I'd give him the treat. So I got him really used to knowing every time he hears his name and the jar shake together and comes to me, he'll get food. Depending what kind of cat you have, if you have a really food motivated cat, you might not need to find a really special treat. But if you have a cat that doesn't care too much about treats or kibble, you might need to find a really high value treat, something that they don't get regularly, something that you're using only for this kind of training. Maybe like fresh tuna or wet food if they don't get wet food regularly, or liver paste or chicken, something that they place really high value on. Once they're really good at this within the same room, you extend it to when they're in another room and you're in another room, you will call and they will come into the room with you. And just keep making the distance farther and farther. I've actually done this for about a year. I started last summer, and now this summer, Zorro's really got it. I didn't do it every day, but the more you do it, obviously the quicker your cat will learn it. If you have an upstairs and a downstairs, your next step could be, if you're downstairs and your cat is upstairs, to call them, shake the treat, and have them come running to you and then give them their treat. Once they're really good at this and they're doing it all the time, and they know that when they come to you when you call their name or when you shake the treat, that they get a reward, you can extend this to outdoors, or if you have a garage or some enclosed area that your cat isn't used to. Try it with your cat there when they're in a very unfamiliar area, unfamiliar room, because they are most comfortable when they're in their house. So they're going to be able to do the recall the best in areas where they are most comfortable. And if you do it outside, be sure to have your cat on a leash, but you can use a very long extendable leash. So maybe you can tie your cat to an outdoor peg so you can create some distance between you and your cat. And when you first enter this different area, don't expect them in a new or different environment to be able to be as good as they are indoors with recall and coming to you when they're called. Start again as if they are learning this brand new. They'll pick it up a lot quicker, but it will still again take some time. So this is a really good precaution to have if you are taking your cat outdoor on a leash, and if you want your cat to be used to coming to you when they are called for safety. And if they ever do escape or get outside, you know that they're not going to bolt, and you know that they will come when you call. I do consider my cats to be indoor cats, but like I said, I do let them in my backyard. My cats, Tron and Sugar, have very good recall, and they come right away when I call their name or shake the jar for treats, so I'm not worried that they will ever really leave the backyard. I also never ever let my cats outside if I'm not there, if I'm not supervising, and if I'm not confident that they will come back when I call. I hope this video was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.